Man, first of all, compliments to Jacksonville State and Coach Kelly. That is a really, really good football team that we just defeated right there. The heart that they showed, the DNA of a champion, to beat those guys on their home field, that tough fought game, it just goes to show you there were two really good football teams competing against one another, and you could see the strain on both sides of the ball. The momentum swing back and forth was just outstanding, and at the end of the day, our guys showed some perseverance and some toughness and some grit to finish the game in the right way. And I just can't say enough about the way our guys continue to compete. This our administration, our athletic director, just everybody this year pouring their hearts and soul into this football program to try to make it the best version of what Kennesaw State can be. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Joe Medley, East Alabama Sports Today. What was the play call on 4th and 14, and did Amari improvise there?
He did. He improvised. It was a pass play call. Some vertical concepts that we installed. Amari saw that people were covered down the field, and for him to take off, find a crease, and find a lane, and to get that first down was just incredible. We have been trying to do some things like that the entire night. Their defensive line did a really good job of kind of closing gaps and not rushing past the passer, and really keeping Amari boxed in for the most part the entire night. But that one play where they stuck their heels in the ground and they pinned their ears back, Amari was able to step up and find a crease, and the strain at the end. We talked about all week. A game like this is going to take strain and being disciplined in order to win it. And you saw the strain at the end to try to get that first down, to get to the sticks. That was truly championship DNA they exhibited right there.
Back here, please identify yourself and your affiliation.
Coach Kaimala with the KSU Sentinel. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you, Kai.
Secondly, back to that 4th and 14 play. Did you consider kicking the field goal? And had you kicked it, would it have been Daniel or Britton?
We thought about it. We actually did. It would have been about a 55-yard field goal, I think, if we had kicked that field goal. But at the end of the day, we decided we're going to put the ball in our best players' hands. And offensively, Amari Odom is, first-team all-conference quarterback. He'd been playing extremely well for the last few weeks, and it was just an opportunity for him to step up and find a guy that really has been doing a great job in practice, but just hasn't had an opportunity to do some things in games. And you saw him come up with the touchdown pass in the veil at the end of the game.
Coach Marcus Greaves with 11 Alive. I just want to ask, when this clock struck 0, first thing that went through your mind?
Just everybody's hopes and dreams for our university all came true right there in that moment. When I got here, 2-10 football team, to transform this team and to get 10 wins in a single year after all the things that we persevered through, bringing about 50, 60 new players into the building, an entire new coaching staff, support staff, everybody all the way down to the equipment, man, is brand new. So just all those people, moving in the same direction. We talk about singing out the same hymn book all the time. That's what you saw today. You saw a team all come to fruition for the last 12 months or whatever it is. Those guys put their heart and soul on the line, and man, it was just a magical moment in my mind.
Thomas Ashworth with AL.com. Coach, this last time y'all were here, it wasn't Amari's best game, but he put on a show tonight, and in the last 2 games as well. Just kind of what's been the difference since that game for him? He's been one of the arguably the best college player in college football.
Protecting the football. More games are lost than won more than anything. If you look at Amari's statistics, I think ever since that game, I don't think he's had a turnover, if I'm not mistaken. But if he hasn't had very many at all. But his ability to protect the football is what transforms him and transforms our team into the best version of ourselves that we can be. We talked about it after that 3-interception performance against Jacksonville State here a few weeks ago. We talked about, man, you got all our hopes and dreams in your hand. The quarterback is the highest paid position in all the sports, whether it's professional sports or college football sports, for a reason. Because at the end of the day, that person touches the ball every single snap, and they have to be the best version. They can't afford to be average or mediocre because that's not the role that they play on your football team. So what you saw is a young man take that by the horns, and he just continued to get better. He continued to stay in the film room. He continued to be intentional about his training. And I think the most part you saw at Amari tonight, he wasn't trying to press. He just went out there and he did what Amari Odom does. He finds a way to make plays consistently.
Gabe goes down late in the first half there. Talk to me about the faith you had in some of the other receivers behind him, the Christian Mosses, the Davis Brysons, the Neville Deans, and just what they were able to do in the second half. Yeah,
we talked at the beginning of the week about guys having to make out-of-body plays. We knew guys were going to have to step up. Obviously, Gabe Benyard has been an extremely good player an entire year. But, man, we got some other good players on this football team. And everything is about having an opportunity. When I was in the NFL, they talked about the difference between a practice squad player and a Pro Bowl player sometimes. It was just guys getting opportunities. And what you saw tonight, that last play of the game, Neville Dean coming up with a play. Neville Dean's been up and down injury-wise the whole year. He finally started the last 6 weeks just putting great practices together. And then what you saw at the end is what we've been seeing really for the last 6 weeks. The guy can catch the ball, and he understands how to play the game at wide receiver. And just a compliment to all those guys, even Christian Moss. When Gabe went down, we didn't blink. We didn't miss a beat because we knew we had some other guys that was going to step up and make some plays. And just so proud of what those guys did. They knew it was their opportunity, and they took advantage of it.
One more question for Coach, and we'll let him get out of here. Thomas?
Coach, this is the best probably story in college football. You guys turn around. Just when people ask you kind of what it takes to transform a program like you guys did so quickly, what do you tell them?
Man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of people being bought in. The biggest thing is leadership is real. And what you've seen on in this program in 12 months is I brought about 80%, 85% of the new people that we brought in the building from a support staff and coaches, I had an opportunity to work with in some kind of capacity at some point in time in my career. What you see from a player standpoint, as we identify certain players through the portal, as we identify certain players in the high school recruiting, it was going to be people that was made up of the right things from a character standpoint, captains on their high school team, captains on their junior college team, guys that we did our research on. We did our due diligence calling around to find out what makes them tick. We didn't bring a single person in our building that we didn't have a plan for. We poured into those players as much as we possibly could. Our coaches continued to build relationships, and you saw a connected team tonight that at the end of the day, when you're connected as a football team, no different than when you're connected as a family, there's no telling, and the sky is the limit on what you can achieve.
Coach Mack, thank you very much. Congratulations. And
Thank you,
good
guys.
luck in your bowl game.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yep.